If you're wondering how to get started with a Faceless YouTube channel and make thousands of dollars per month, then this video is for you. I created this free complete guide on how to start a Faceless YouTube channel coming from me, a six-figure earner from Faceless YouTube channels himself. So if you're looking for how to do that, this video is for you. But before we get started, I do want to invite you to watch my free masterclass training where I go over 10 ways to go viral on YouTube. The link for that will be down below in the description, but let's get started with the video. So as far as what you're gonna learn what is a Faceless channel, the different types, how much you make from just one of my Faceless channels, how to choose a niche, deciding on what type of Faceless channel to make, the core Faceless team, where to hire people, strategies to grow your channel, the 3 T's to success, examples of other Faceless channels, what channel niche I personally would start, and how to make money, all right? So this is gonna be action-packed, get ready, take some notes. Good thing is that you can actually rewatch this video and also pause for when you need to do so. So what is a Faceless YouTube channel? To simply put, it's a channel where you don't show your face. Faceless channels sometimes tend to be more scalable, okay? So this is one of the key facts that was led me to actually starting a Faceless channel, is because it's more scalable. It removes the technicalities of filming / studio setup / camera knowledge. So I didn't need to learn how to film myself, or I didn't need to learn how to do lighting. I still don't know how to do lighting. I didn't know how to do like aperture, lighting adjustments, color grading, all that technicalities when it comes to the camera. You really don't need to learn that when it comes to starting a Faceless channel. One caveat to starting a Faceless channel though is that it's hard to build a connection with your audience compared to the traditional way of doing YouTube. So the example is that imagining you're learning how to make money online from a Faceless YouTuber versus learning how to make money online from Graham Stephan, right? With Graham, you actually see an individual on screen. You're actually learning eye to eye an individual who's teaching how to make money versus an individual who's like making Faceless videos. That's one of the things. So I've been doing Faceless YouTube for about 4 years now. It's hard to build a connection when it comes to really trying to build an engaging audience when you compare like Faceless videos to actual film videos. So lastly, it's a good model of YouTube for introverts. So back when I started, I wasn't really comfortable appearing on camera like I am now. And so Faceless YouTube, it was a great route for me to still be called a YouTuber while doing YouTube itself without having to show my face on camera. So as far as the different types of Faceless channels, you have like 2D animations. So example channel of that is Betterment Boss. You have stock footage stories, which is a real facts. Real facts is the name of the channel. Okay, so in parentheses that you see here, these are all the names of the channels. You have whiteboard animations, story animations, fair use visuals. So fair use visuals is where the majority of my channels lie in which we're taking copyrighted footage but using them or transforming them in order to kind of display what's being said in our voiceover and script. So I'll be going over more on that later in the video. And lastly, you have screen recording. So this video that you're watching right now, it could technically be a Faceless channel if I wasn't appearing on camera. So that is another type of Faceless channel. An example of a YouTube channel that's doing that really well is Central Media. Potential earnings from one of my channels, you can kind of see here. So this is pretty up to date, okay? 2023, literally today's time. This channel in particular, making around like $50 to $60 per day. Last 28 days, it's showing about $1,500. You can see the past month, it's making anywhere between $1,000 to $4,000. So with this channel, I've had it for quite some time. It is quite a niche channel. So the niche of this channel is TV shows, but it's a specific TV show and it's doing pretty well, okay? So I'll be going over later in the video how to choose the correct niche, but the earnings are pretty passive. You can kind of see like, again, I'm making between $50 to $60 per day, but I'm only posting 4 times per month, which makes it pretty neat. So with that being said, one thing I want you to keep in mind is that you don't need to post every day. You don't need to post 3 times per week. You can kind of find a sweet spot in which the videos that you post, just because you're posting less, it's going to harm your channel. So again, $1,500, pretty decent, and it's pretty passive. So the potential earnings from that channel, it is over 3 years old. I do plan on posting daily, but for now, 4 times per month is pretty decent. Not all of that income is profit. What you see is the $1,500 that the channel is making. And so that's the revenue, all right? So overhead per month of that channel, actually, so if I'm only posting 4 times per month, it's about like $300, right? So it's pretty profitable, right? Profit margins are well 90% or above. Keep in mind though that my results are not typical. I do have channels that are losing me money, but I'm in it for the long term, okay? So this is one thing that I just recently told one of my students, in which he only posted about 5 videos so far, but I'm trying to advise him to like, hey, you've got to be in it for the long term, okay? I've been in the YouTube space for about 4 years now, and I've had videos pop off or basically go viral and earn thousands of dollars of income more than a year later. So this is a very important key factor to keep in mind, is that you've got to be in it for the long term. Don't just post like a handful of videos and they don't work, and then all of a sudden deem that starting Faceless YouTube channels doesn't work either. Now comes the important topic of how to choose a niche, right? So this is like the foundation for your YouTube channel that you want to make sure that you get right. As cliche as it sounds, you want to go into a niche where you know more than the average person about. So what type of knowledge are you constantly consuming? Are you constantly reading about basketball news? Are you constantly reading about the upcoming new Marvel TV series? Are you constantly reading about pickleball? So think about something that you're constantly consuming, and then when you know your niche, you can basically come up with better topics, better titles, better thumbnails. You want to put yourself in your viewer's shoes and ask, what would I want to watch, rather than pretending, okay? So by knowing your niche, you basically create videos that you yourself would want to watch that is actually a member of your audience. With that, how to choose a niche, think about going to niche similar to as if you were launching another vacuum product. You got to ask yourself, like, what's going to make your vacuum different from everyone else's? So if you look at all the vacuum cleaners on the market, they're all similar in some way, but they're also different in some way, okay? So think about this being synonymous to the videos that you're going to be posting onto YouTube. What's going to make your videos different from everyone else's, right? Launching videos to me is like launching a similar product on YouTube, but you got to angle your videos differently. There's this channel called Deep Pocket Monsters, and in the Pokemon space, a ton of creators were basically creating unboxing videos, and they were getting a ton of views. So what they would do is that they would buy like booster packs of Pokemon cards, and they would unbox them on YouTube, and they would get a ton of views. So there's this creator named Pat Flynn who wanted to enter the Pokemon space too, but instead of creating videos like everyone else, where everyone else is just simply unboxing Pokemon cards, his angle was to add a narrative story aspect to his videos, okay? So the only difference that he made was that instead of unboxing Pokemon cards like every other Pokemon channel out there, he created a story in each and every one of his videos and basically like made them like challenge videos. And now 2 years later, he's at over 500,000 subscribers and making around $30,000 to $50,000 per month. So although Deep Pocket Monsters isn't a Faceless channel, you get the idea, right? You're entering a niche, which there are other channels within that same niche. How are you going to angle yourself differently? That's one of the key things I want to make sure that you get embedded into your head, just because it's such an important thing to understand. So deciding on what type of Faceless channel to start. Do you want to be part of the production process? Keep in mind that it's not so much scalable. It's reliant upon you. These types of videos are like screen recordings. If you decide to voice your videos, if you decide to edit your videos, or do you want to outsource all of the work to free up your time, okay? Now in this case, it doesn't mean that you're going to be doing absolutely no work. You're more likely going to be doing like a managerial work. You are going to have more freedom, more time. This is very scalable. And one thing I do want to keep note of is that you still have to come up with the ideas, okay? So no matter what type of Faceless channel you do, I do imagine that you are going to be the one coming up with the ideas first, which is hugely important and crucial to the success of your channel. So now let's go over the core Faceless team. You're probably going to want to reference this back later when you actually start assembling your team. So you have like the topic researcher. So this can either be you, or you can pay them hourly, $5 an hour. You have the scriptwriter. Usually I pay them per project, and less than $30 a script is ideal. The voiceover artist paid per project, the video editor paid per project, project manager paid hourly, description writer paid per project, and then the thumbnail artist paid per project. Okay, so this is like my rough guideline for when it comes to assembling the core Faceless team. And this is assuming that you're wanting to outsource all the work. So topic researcher scope of work, basically this individual needs to come up with unique and creative topic ideas for your channel. This role is optional, okay? Notice how I said before that you're usually the one who's gonna be coming up with the topics. Eventually when your channel is up and running, burnout becomes a thing when coming up with ideas. So you need like a fine balance. If you're posting every single day on your channel, you need to come up with like 30 ideas per month, and that kind of gets hard, right? So that's also with the other channel which I showed you. I'm only posting 4 times per month. So I only have to come up with 4 ideas per month. I don't need to necessarily hire a topic researcher to help me with that channel, right? Scriptwriter scope of work, US based or outside, it really doesn't matter. I've had really good writers from India, Pakistan, Philippines, Georgia, Romania, really good writers from outside the US. They just need to make sure that there's proper grammar, the scripts are legible, short intros. This is super, super key. Short intros is a must, no fluff material, and the script should be broken into subsections or a countdown to make the video easily watchable, okay? This improves average view duration. So think about like writing an essay, basically like writing a book, right? If there's no chapters to the book and it's not broken up, it makes the book harder to read, does it not? But if it's broken into subsections, it's easier to read. So think about any Google articles that you see online as well. It's not just one long blurb of an article. It's broken into subsections, which makes it easily digestible. Same thing goes for your video script. You want to make sure it's broken down into a countdown or subsections in order to improve average view duration. Voiceover scope of work, there isn't much guidelines for this other than to have a voiceover that fits your niche. Stories, it's nice and soothing to listen to. Pop culture, you want to think about having like an enthusiastic announcer type voice, screen recording tutorials, a clear voice, professional voice, proper voice. Of course, within the voiceover, there shouldn't be any breath sounds, smacks, or unprofessionally edited audio. For the video editor scope of work, this is dependent on the type of channel you're running. Multifactorial, not one size fits all. So what I mean by this is not one editor is going to be good at editing everything, okay? So this is probably the job position that you're going to need to screen the most applicants for, just because it really is subjective. What you think is good editing, I might not think is good editing, and vice versa. So when I look for video editors, I'm not looking for extremely fancy, but rather quality and engaging. Project manager scope of work coordinates projects between your contractors. Again, another optional position. Essentially, you can start off as the project manager yourself, frees up your time, becomes the go-to personal if any problems arise. Description writer scope of work. So this is like my SOP when it comes to the description format. They have to write a 150-word description on what the video topic is about while including as many related keywords as possible, right? Links to relevant videos on your channels, adding 3 relevant hashtags, and adding any disclaimers as necessary. Now, last but not least, we have the thumbnail artist scope of work. So we're not looking for the most complex thumbnail designer here, okay? This is YouTube, and so I want to make clear emphasis that the creativities plus ideas behind the thumbnail is much more important than the complexity of the design of your thumbnail. So I'm sure you've seen on YouTube very simple thumbnails, but they've gone extremely viral, okay? It's because the idea or concept is so much more important. So you're not looking for like a highly expert Photoshop artist. I mean, maybe you might need that, but really the idea and the complexity of design, two different things. The idea is what matters, and the idea can be simple. The complexity of design, usually in my case, simpler thumbnails have worked better. So where to hire people? Okay, I get this question asked all the time. Upwork is my preferred method. I find probably like 90% of my team through Upwork. I'd say 10% through word of mouth. I have found one really good scriptwriter that I still work with today on Fiverr. When you hire people, this is like the marathon in which you're gonna need to run through a lot of applicants, okay? You definitely need to post multiple job listings until you find that perfect scriptwriter, that perfect video editor, and that perfect voiceover artist. So Upwork is my go-to. That's what I recommend. So strategies to grow your channel, you're probably gonna have to pause this and take notes on here as well. First, when starting your channel, you wanna capitalize on anything that's trending. So usually within your niche, there should be like a trending aspect to it. You know, you don't wanna choose a niche in which there's nothing upcoming or news happening. You wanna target search-based keywords and phrases initially as well. So if you're going more the evergreen route, ideally you wanna make sure that the videos that you're targeting are actual search phrases that people are searching on YouTube. To start off with, post like 3 times a week or every other day. You wanna follow like the 80-20 rule, which is making your videos good enough, which is like 80% quality, and worry about perfection later. So don't get caught up in like making sure that your videos are so perfect just because you don't know what your channel stands for yet. What happened to me is like I started a sports channel and I would spend a lot of time making sure like my soccer or tennis videos were perfect, but it ends up turning out that my basketball videos are the ones that are taking off. So I eventually streamed into the basketball niche as well. You want to make sure you treat your team well, just because without your team, your videos wouldn't exist. SEO basics, you want to have the keyword in your title and description. Tags don't matter, okay? I stand by that very firmly. Tags are not what's gonna separate your video from everyone else's. So don't even spend any time on tags. I don't even tag my videos. I haven't tagged my videos in over 4 years, okay? The final decision maker on YouTube is the YouTube audience. While I've mentioned this before, in which YouTube is very subjective, you know, we have an opinion on what our thumbnails look like, on what our titles look like. We have an opinion on how the voiceover artist sounds. We have an opinion on how the video edit looks. The final decision maker is the YouTube audience. So while it is good to kind of have input to as what your title and thumbnail should be like, the ultimate decision maker is the YouTube audience. And so you're only gonna get that real data by posting videos, guys. You have to post videos. Don't spend so much time tweaking a thumbnail, tweaking a title. It's good to split test thumbnails and titles, but ultimately you wanna post your videos and then read the actual data. Focus a lot of time into the 3 T's of success, which I'm gonna be going over right now. So the 3 T's to success, it's not tags, okay? Tags is not one of the 3 T's to success. The 3 T's to success are your topic, your title, and your thumbnail. You can have a mediocre video with good enough 80% quality information that will still go viral if you nail the topic, title, and thumbnail, okay? So think about this very important concept in which if you have a video that's not the best video out there, it's like 80% quality, okay? We would rate it like a B-, right? If you have like a B- video and you post it onto YouTube, but you have the best topic, the best title, and the best thumbnail, that video will likely go viral. So that's why I said don't spend so much time on like the actual content of your video, but it doesn't mean like to fluff your video. You gotta find a sweet spot in which you're not spending a ton of time. The video is there, the content is there. Focus a lot of your time on the topic, title, and thumbnail. So examples of successful Faceless channels, and again, this is like with an emphasis on fair use visuals. So sports and celebrities, tutorials or screen recordings, how-tos, documentaries, whiteboard animations, mega structures, TV shows and movies, product reviews, compilations plus voiceovers. I've seen those all work extremely well. So what channel niche I personally would start? So bias based on my experience, knowledge and interest, what may work for me may not work for you and vice versa, okay? Because this is basically because of what I already know and the type of knowledge and content I consume on a daily basis. So this is what I would start. I would start a sports news channels on a specific sport, updates to that sport as well. So think like basketball, tennis, pickleball, Formula One especially. TV shows, movies, news, and updates. I've had a lot of success with those types of channels, but lately what I've been experimenting with is niching down to a specific TV show. So for example, I would make a channel dedicated to only upcoming Harry Potter news, right? A tutorial videos on digital marketing. So a different angle on this. So it kind of follows like the lines of like screen recordings. Tutorial videos, I would tag with affiliate marketing and not necessarily AdSense. How-to videos on teaching YouTube. I'm already doing that. Again, this could technically be a Faceless video, right? How-to videos on fitness and nutrition. My unique approach with that would be every single one of my videos would be backed by evidence-based articles, okay? So coming from a med school background, that would be my different angle if I were to enter the fitness or nutrition space. Medical health channel, basically just a Faceless medical health channel, just to kind of help people. So what I wouldn't do, I wouldn't go into a niche just because someone tells you to go into that niche. I mean, think about your expertise, your knowledge. What do you know more than the average person about? Okay, that's something that I really want you to think about. What do you know more than the average person? What's something that you know more than me? You know more than your friends? Answering this question is what's going to give you your advantage. And this is hugely, hugely important. So how to make money? You have the YouTube partnership program. You can sell digital products if you're going more like the really, really helpful route. You wouldn't really sell digital products on like a sports channel or celebrity news channel, right? Sell coaching and mentorship programs, affiliate programs, sponsorships, community memberships. So take action. I want you to go ahead and create your channel. I want you to get your channel art created by my guy down below in the description. He's from Fiverr. Decide on your type of Faceless channel and also start posting your job listings on Upwork. So while you set up your channel, you can start posting your job listings and then afterwards start going through the process of reviewing individuals. I have a team of about like 100 individuals or so, and I've gotten on to interviews with each and every one of them, making sure that they're right fit to joining my team. That concludes how to start a Faceless channel. Hopefully this helped you out. If you're interested in learning more ways to grow your YouTube channel, do check out this video next.